If your YouTube links aren't clickable, you're killing your lead flow from the start. I'll show you why that happens, how to fix it, plus 6 more mistakes on top of that you're probably making right now. Let's get into it. Mistake number 1, not verifying your YouTube channels. Because when it comes to putting links in your description, on your posts, on your channel, and all of that, you have to actually unlock that stuff. And most people don't even know that, right? And I'm about to show you how to go about fixing that. All right, so what you want to do is you want to go right here to where it says settings, and then you want to click on channel, and then right here where it says feature eligibility, go ahead and click on that. Okay, so notice right here, if yours aren't green, that's probably an issue that you're having right now. Your links probably aren't clickable in the description, right? So you can see right here it says standard features. That's going to be on by default. You don't have to do anything there. But if you go down here to intermediate features and you can see that it's not enabled for you, you want to click this, and then you want to go ahead and just verify your phone number. For you, you might have a blue button right here. Just go ahead and click that, put your phone number in, have them send you a code, and then unlock the first level, well, second level, right? Because you automatically get the first level for free. But then if you click down here where it says advanced features, okay, so this is the important part. So as I was saying, you have to unlock the ability to put links in your description, posts, and all of that. So you can see right here it says to unlock that, external links and video descriptions, you have to first verify at this level, right? Because you're automatically verified here. And then you also have to do a video verification, upload your ID, right? So these are but this right here is the end. So you can do the video verification. I did that on another channel. You could also just upload your ID. I would say that's probably the simpler one. And then also you can get it based off of channel history. So YouTube is looking at, okay, is this going to be a person that's on our platform, you know, actually producing consistent content? And they're looking at, okay, look at this channel history. They got a lot of stuff going on. So they also verify you like that, right? And you can see on this channel, I got a lot of content, right? So they use that one for me, okay? But it's important for you to do this because if not, then you can't put any links anywhere. And once your links are unlocked, you want to make sure your description is set up to actually get you clicks and is fully optimized. So I put together my YouTube description template. You can actually use that right now by clicking the link down below in the description. That'll give you instant access. Now let's get back to the video. All right, so let's move on to mistake number 2. All right, so let's take a look here, right? So I got 2 YouTube descriptions and I'm gonna show you each of them, and then you're gonna start to see why it makes sense to do this versus doing it the opposite way. All right, so this first YouTube description we got here, this is the top of the YouTube description. So notice we got the show more and it's highlighted, right? It's highlighted red for a reason, because if you have your description like this where it's only text up at the top and you're a business owner, you're promoting your lead magnets, you're promoting your offer, you're making it a lot more difficult for the person who's looking at the description, who probably wants, like, let's say you give your call to action and you say, hey, click the link down below, and then they look down and immediately they don't see that link right there, right? You don't really want to put too many barriers, too many steps in between them actually clicking the link. You want it to be like this description where literally it's right there up at the top of the YouTube description with a benefit baseline on top of it. So you can see it says above the fold equals more clicks, right? Because it's there. They don't have to think about it. There's no clicking, no show more button, none of that stuff. Very, very simple. Versus below the fold, now they got to take that extra step. And then when they get on the page, if it's a capture page, boom, now they got to take that step. You want to limit the amount of steps that they have to take in order to download your lead magnet, go to your offer, or whatever it is. Mistake number 3. Dropping links without explaining why they matter to the target audience. So if you look in the description right here, it says turn content into clients with my proven YouTube ranking system. Now, if I just had my proven YouTube ranking system, it wouldn't really pull people in, right? But because I put a payoff in front of what it is, now it makes a difference, right? Because if somebody looks in the description and they see turn content into clients, if that's something that they want to do, now they're hooked in. And now they're like, okay, well, what is this ranking system that's going to help me turn content into clients or sales or leads, right? Now they're intrigued. So what that's called framing the link, or in other words, adding value to the link. So now they actually want to click it. So anytime you put your link in there, always put the payoff of the link to actually get people to want to click even more. All right, so let's move on to mistake number 4. So if you look right here, it says using long, ugly, or broken links. Why does this kill your lead flow in the first place? Well, number one, if somebody looks down and they see this extremely long link, it looks messy, it's just like a lot going on, they're kind of like, I don't know, that link looks a little bit suspect, right? Now, if they decide to click on that link and then that link doesn't even work because you maybe forgot like a letter or something like that, that's red flag number 1, right? And so when they look at these links, you want them to just see, okay, this is a nice clean link. You don't want like a whole lot going on, right? So you want to use something like this. So you see how it says yourbrand.com/ lead magnet name or the offer name, right? And this is important so that like when you give your call to action in the video, and let's say you say that the name is, I'm gonna just use something like what I use. So like, let's say it's your YouTube SEO checklist. When they go down in the description, that's the name that they're looking for. So even if you're using like Bitly or something like that, you could just put Bitly and then put the offer name. Because what some people do, and I've seen it, is they'll leave the number that Bitly gives them. So like it'll be like Bitly, and then it'll be something like this. It'll be like 2457YNR4 or something like that, right? And they'll leave that, and then now the person is looking down in the description and they're like, man, where's the YouTube SEO checklist, or where is that particular lead magnet, right? And that kind of leads me into the next problem. All right, so let's go to the next one, which is mistake number 5, overloading your description with a whole bunch of irrelevant links. Always have the most important link at the top of your description. Even when I give my CTAs, I'll say, go ahead and click the first link in the description because I know that's the most relevant link to the video itself. So you always want to have the most important one first, and then at maximum, I'll say 1 to 2 links. So that way, if you're talking about sort of like 2 things, you can have that link a little bit below the one that's most relevant to the video itself. All right, so that's mistake number 5. All right, so let's go to mistake number 6. All right, so write in the description that's all about you and not the person, right? So sometimes I'll see people will put an entire bio of everything that they did inside of the description, and that right there is a huge mistake. Nobody really cares. And if I'm being completely honest, nobody really cares about the bio, your experience, and all of that. They care about the problem that they have, right? That's why they clicked on your video. So you want to make the description all about them, especially like when it comes to YouTube search. When somebody is searching on YouTube and they type in the search and then the search results comes up, they can see the top part of the description. So you want to make sure that it's relevant to what it is that they care about. All right, so let's move on to mistake number 7. So if you see right here, it says ignoring SEO keywords in your description. So if you want to get found, you want to make sure that you're using relevant keywords, like the ones that are actually going to pull your target audience in. And how you do that is you naturally include your primary keywords in the first few sentences. So that's within the first 50 to 75 characters. That's where it's most important. So if you don't have your keyword within there, that's not really going to benefit you when it comes to actually ranking your videos. Although there are other ways to actually get found, such as suggested and browse, but you do want to have your stuff positioned so that way when anybody goes searching, you become the person that they perceive as the authority. All right. So then as far as the keywords, you want to make sure that you're not keyword stuffing. And keyword stuffing is essentially you just put all of your keywords in the description. They don't make any sense at all. You just put all the keywords in the description. That's what keyword stuffing is. And you want to avoid that because it's actually against YouTube's terms of service. And hey, if you want to make sure your YouTube description is following all of these best practices without having to figure it out on your own, go ahead and grab my YouTube description template. It'll be the first link down below in the description. Go ahead and click that. It'll give you instant access so you can use that on your next upload. See you on the next one. Peace.